Please rise for honors to the nation. The national anthem will be performed by Northwestern State alumnus Francisco Javier Ballesta Seas. Please join us in singing. Please remain standing for the invocation delivered this morning by Mr. Edward Ward, Jr.
As we bow, may we invoke a oneness in spirit at the investiture of Dr. Marcus Gerard Jones, unfolds and elevates him to the pinnacle of his admirable career in higher education as the 20th president of Northwestern State University. On this sterling occasion, we stand in unified hope that he becomes the noteworthy standard bearer in his governance role at this historically progressive institution of higher learning. May his countenance become showered with wisdom, grace, courage, insight, and foresight, coupled with laudable leadership characteristics as he officially takes the helm of this, one of the most pivotal entities in the fabric of the Natchez Parish community and beyond. May we, who are the mutual beneficiaries of his tenure, form a pipeline of support as a channel through which we can make this bastion of higher education even more effective than ever before in the global community during this unprecedented 21st century. It is in the name of triumph over disease, world peace, and man's humanity to man we implore thee. Amen.
You may be seated. Faculty, staff, students, alumni, friends, community members, and family members, welcome to the Investiture ceremony celebrating the official commissioning of the 20th president of Northwestern State University, Dr. Marcus Jones. My name is Greg Hondel, and I serve Northwestern as the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, and this morning I will also serve as your Master of Ceremonies. The investiture ceremony brings with it dignity, academic traditions and protocols, and celebrates the pursuit of knowledge. Defined as the formal ceremony of conferring the authority and symbols of high office, an investiture allows participants to welcome a new era and to celebrate as a community. For us at Northwestern, it is an opportunity to celebrate our faculty, our staff, and our students, our school traditions, our network of alumni and friends, our strong connection with the Natchez community, and our commitment to preparing future leaders for lives of service to their chosen professions. Students, today is a special day for all of you. It is a day for you to be surrounded by people who got their start here at Northwestern and had grown to be leaders in their fields. Not too long ago, one person here today sat exactly where you are sitting. And I suspect at that time, likely didn't think that one day he'd be sitting on stage under the very bright lights of Frederick's Auditorium, getting ready to be invested as the 20th president of his alma mater. The investiture of a university president is always significant for an institution, and today's ceremony is historic as Dr. Jones becomes the first African American in the history of Northwestern to serve as its president. We are honored and grateful to be joined today by Bishop James Johnson and Doris Rock Robinson, who are the last two surviving students who fought and were successful to desegregate Northwestern in 1965. Please join in thanking these two pioneers for their perseverance. I'd like to take a few moments to introduce several groups and special guests joining us here today. Please hold your applause until all groups have stood and been acknowledged. First, the Honorable John Bell Edwards, Governor of the state of Louisiana. Please stand. Second, Dr. Kim Hunter Reed, Commissioner of Higher Education for the Louisiana Board of Regents. Third, vice presidents and members of the president's cabinet seated on stage. Fourth, our academic deans, school directors, and department heads, and members of the president's leadership team who are seated on the floor with us today. Would you please stand? We are honored to have with us today the president of the University of Louisiana System, Dr. Jim Henderson. Also with us today is former president of Northwestern, Dr. Chris Maggio. And we are joined by the executive director of the Louisiana School for the Math, Science, and the Arts, Dr. Steve Horton, and superintendent of Natchitoches Parish Schools, Dr. Grant Eloy. Also seated on stage are members of the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors, Ms. Lola Donahoe, Mr. Brad Stevens, Mr. Virgil Robinson Jr., Mr. Mark Romero, Dr. Jimmy Clark, and Student Government Representative Ethan Estes. We are also joined by Senator Louis Bernard, representing District 31, and Natchitoches Parish President John Richmond, and Mayor of Natchitoches, Ronnie Williams, Jr. Attending today and seated in the audience are more than 30 members of Dr. Jones's extended family. Would you please stand? We are also joined by University of Louisiana System staff as institutional delegates, University of Louisiana System presidents, and chancellors from the Louisiana Community and Technical Colleges System, and the president of Louisiana Christian University. Would you please stand? Also joining us are state representatives Ed Larvadane Jr., Larry Bagley, Gabe Ferment, and representing Kenny Cox is Terrence Vincent. Would you all please stand? We are thrilled and honored to be joined today by three former First Ladies of Northwestern State, Ms. Alma Alost, Ms. Brenda Webb, and Ms. Jennifer Maggio. Would you please stand? And finally, we are joined today by more than 300 faculty and staff, the heart and soul of Northwestern State University. Would you please stand? It is customary for greetings to be delivered to the guests and president. Today we have four people delivering greetings. First, from the city of Natchitoches, Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr., class of 2008. Second, from the students, Bailey Willis, Student Government Association president. Third, from the faculty, Dr. John Dunn, Associate Professor of Fine Arts and President of the Faculty Senate. And fourth, representing the alumni, Leah Sherman Middlebrook, classes of 1986 and 2016, President of the Northwestern State University Alumni Association. Mayor Williams.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the historic city of Natchitoches for this grand occasion. I am Ronnie Williams Jr., Mayor of the great city of Natchitoches. Our city is home to many wonders, including the Northwestern State University. I feel privileged to have the honor of speaking today to celebrate this pivotal and joyous moment for this prestigious university. As a Northwestern State University alum, I often share with others just how great NSU is. I speak of our fantastic academic programs and world-class faculty. I boast about our amazing student body and scenic campus. And not surprisingly, those who have attended other universities often brag about their alma mater in a similar way. But I found that NSU stands above the rest when it comes to the warmth and familial love that exudes from this campus. Students, faculty, and visitors alike can feel the difference. Northwestern State University alum are forever bound as members of the Demon family. This devotion to the university more often than not leads to a devotion to the great city of Natchitoches. NSU attracts the best and brightest from all over, not just to campus, but also to our city. I am forever grateful to NSU. And I stand in lockstep partnership with the ideas and goals Dr. Jones has for the future of the university. Over the past year, I have had the opportunity to work with Dr. Jones, and I have seen his dedication and passion for this university and its students. As you, Dr. Jones, ascend to the title of 20th President of Northwestern State University, I am humbled by the history and gravity of the moment. You are a transformative and innovative leader who has an unparalleled zeal for NSU. I look forward to working with you as NSU and the city of Natchitoches reach the highest heights. Congratulations to you, sir.
As the president of the Student Government Association, I am honored to be able to serve under Dr. Jones. He constantly paves the way, and he is always acceptable and adhering to all information that SGA may provide. He is quick to help improve the student body even more than it always is. He is always open to new ideas, and he has already increased the tuition and everything that NSU, I'm sorry, not tuition. No, fun fact, we're like the lowest school tuition-wise, so good for us. Good for us. Yes, what I meant to say was he has already helped increase collaboration with the international students and wants to raise that more to awareness. So I really appreciate the fact that he's so proactive in being more inclusive, bringing more inclusion and diversity to campus, and I can't wait to serve under him even more and see all the wonderful things that he will do for NSU. Thank you.
I have to follow that, huh? All right, good morning, Dr. Jones, students, faculty, staff, members of the administration, and esteemed guests. My name is John Dunn. I'm an associate professor of fine arts here at Northwestern, and I have the privilege and honor of welcoming everyone here today on behalf of the faculty at NSU. This is a special day, not only for you, Dr. Jones, but also for the faculty, as you started your career at Northwestern here as one of us. As you ascend to the presidency, we are confident that you are not only aware of the special needs and interests of the students, staff, and faculty, but that you are willing to negotiate in good faith as we continue to navigate these waters of shared governance. The faculty here comes from a very diverse background, and while I speak for the faculty as president of the Senate, I can never hope to speak for the faculty. So I've reached out and asked various members of the faculty to send their thoughts and well wishes. The vast majority of respondents expressed ideas of thanks, gratitude, and well wishes for the future and for all that you've done for us on our behalf so far, such as increasing salaries for equity and inflation, negotiating with the bookstore to make sure that all of our courses come with the correct books, guiding the university through the latter stages of the COVID epidemic, and so much more. As we look to the future of your presidency, we are confident in your abilities to lead this university while at the same time recognizing the importance the faculty have at this institution. I sincerely hope you enjoy the remainder of this investiture, confident that you have the dedication and support of this faculty. Thank you very much.
Good morning. It is my honor and pleasure to bring you greetings and welcome from the alumni across the globe. Our 71,000 alumni in 41 countries, all 50 states, and the 64 parishes of Louisiana are delighted to bring welcome today. From the bright lights of Broadway to the thousands of nurses and teachers, small business owners, Fortune 500 executives, farmers, homemakers, and the many other alumni across the globe, we are delighted for this historic occasion. We're excited to collaborate and partner with Dr. Jones as he brings Northwestern State to even greater heights. Welcome.
We are honored that two state officials are joining us today to celebrate Dr. Jones's investiture and to share remarks with us. Dr. Kim Hunter Reed is Louisiana's Commissioner of Higher Education. She is the only female in the country currently serving as a state higher education lead who has led higher education in more than one state and was recognized nationally as the 2020 Exceptional Leader by the State Higher Education Executive Officers Association. In 2022, she successfully led efforts to secure additional state funding of more than $150 million, the largest strategic investment in Louisiana higher education to date. Working with the Louisiana Board of Regents, Dr. Reed leads the state's talent development efforts, focused on increasing educational attainment, erasing equity gaps, and increasing prosperity. To reach the state's goal of doubling the annual number of credentials awarded by 2030, she focuses on transformational policies and deep collaborative engagements in line with Regents' talent imperative. In 2022, Governor John Bel Edwards named her as the chair of the Louisiana Cybersecurity Commission, which works to advance the state's cyber ecosystem and position Louisiana as a national leader and preferred location for cyber business, education, and research. It is my honor to introduce the Commissioner for Higher Education, Dr. Kim Hunter Reed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Handel. Good morning. Wonderful to be here with all of you on this historic day, to the faculty, the staff, the students, all of the platform guests, and especially the two pioneers here whose shoulders we stand on. We thank you. We very much thank you. It is special to see the smile, wiping away the tear, recognizing in 1965 the fight to be a part of this campus community, and now welcomed with open arms to see history in the making. That is fantastic, and we thank you for that. Today we gather to officially recognize President Marcus Jones in his new role and to stand with him as an academic community committed to education, innovation, and research. We have a shared vision in this state of excellence, and I am proud to collaborate with this president as we focus on talent development. Northwestern, like every campus in Louisiana, is integral to our success. You are committed to the students you serve and to make sure that Louisiana prospers. Your president is a leader, as you know, who is undeterred by the challenges we face, and there have been many. And he is energized by the opportunities that lie before us and all of the promise that comes with that. You all realize that for the state to reach our big goal of doubling the number of credentials by 2030, we must make sure that we're educating the students who are here and opening our doors to the tens of thousands of students who will come in the years to come. That is why Dr. Jones is committed to expanding opportunity and working with everyone, students, faculty, staff, alums, the community, business leaders, to make sure that this institution stands strong and stands committed to diversity and diversity of opportunity, to create an educational experience for students that connect them to the world of work so that they can go forward to lead and to impact in this knowledge economy. And so I thank you, the faculty and staff, for your commitment to talent development in our state. It takes all of us working shoulder to shoulder together to make that great vision a reality. For your new president, today is the culmination of a lifetime of work and tremendous blessings. For how else can a person born to a family of 20 kids, to parents who did not have a high school diploma, but who valued education, how else can that individual enroll in this institution, graduate, come back to this institution, serve for more than 20 years, and then today have an investiture recognizing and celebrating his leadership as president, of course, the 20th president of this institution? That is divine. As a first-generation student, Dr. Jones knows that education can change lives, improve social mobility, lift families, strengthen communities. He knows it because he has lived it. And because he has lived it, he is committed to making sure that that is the reality for more students who come here to this campus. We need leaders whose lived experiences allow our students to see themselves in those individuals. And I am so proud that the students get to see this president, thoughtful, engaged, committed to student success. I leave you with two images. First, the 20th president and the constant legacy of leadership through this institution, one after another, advancing the commitment of Northwestern State University. So important. The second, the image I saw last night of a student thanking his kindergarten teacher for nurturing him, for believing in him, for nudging him forward, for putting him on a path of excellence. It reminds me of the power of teachers and faculty to see something in students that they do not see in themselves and to move them forward to opportunity. I also am so pleased that our governor, John Bel Edwards, is here. Let's set the record straight. I was happy to advocate for the largest investment in higher ed in the states, but this is the governor, and these are the legislators who made it happen. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate the governor standing with us, the legislators, and we're looking forward to besting that investment this year, John Bell. To the Demon community, alumni, dignitaries, friends, congratulations on your new leader. President Jones, we are so glad to stand with you today and throughout your tenure, committed to serving our students well. We are delighted, we are energized, and we are engaged to welcome your leadership. Thank you.
Governor John Bell Edwards was born 7th out of 8 children to Sheriff Frank Jr. and Dora Jean Edwards. He grew up in Amite, a rural town in Tangipahoa Parish. The governor graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 1988. He served on active duty for 8 years, earning airborne, ranger, and jump master status. Governor Edwards retired from the Army with the rank of captain. He moved back home and earned a law degree from Louisiana State University before opening a civil law practice. In 2008, he was elected to the Louisiana House of Representatives, where he served for 8 years. On January 11, 2016, John Bell Edwards was sworn in as the 56th governor of Louisiana. On January 13, 2020, Governor Edwards was sworn into his second term. He and First Lady Donna Edwards have 3 children, Samantha Bell, Sarah Ellen, and John Miller. Upon taking the oath of office, Governor Edwards and a bipartisan bicameral group of lawmakers worked hard to stabilize the state's budget through a balanced approach. Today, higher education funding has been restored, the state's gross domestic product is the highest it's ever been, and Louisiana's budget is balanced and stable. Please join me in welcoming Governor John Bell Edwards.
Thank you, Dr. Handel. And it's great to be here with all of you today on this beautiful day. It's a great day. And yes, it is a historic day. So thank you for joining us all here in Natchitoches on the beautiful campus of Northwestern State University to celebrate it. President Marcus Jones, congratulations once again on this appointment. This is a new and special era for Northwestern for a number of reasons. First of all, Marcus, as you've no doubt heard this morning, if you didn't already know, makes history as the first Black president of this great university. And the truth is, history is made every time a new president is named and assumes that role at this university, and there have been 20. Got a couple of them here with us today. Dr. Henderson, Dr. Maggio, and all have made tremendous contributions in their own right. I am a strong believer in diversity. When I became governor, I worked hard to build an administration, a cabinet, governor's office that looks like the state of Louisiana, because I believe it's important that every young person across our state see people in positions of power and authority who look like they do. Standing here today, I can say with confidence that Northwestern State University looks like Louisiana. And so many students are going to benefit from the education experience that President Jones brings to the table. But I also want to be clear about this. Better optics has never been the goal. Rather, it is to ensure that the very best have the opportunity to be selected to serve at the highest levels. And when that truly happens, diversity is the result. And so is excellence. And so excellence is the goal. Diversity is the means. Second, we're excited because Marcus is a true son of our great state of Louisiana, a native of Wynn Parish. And you heard in my bio, I'm the seventh of 8 children, and I felt sorry for myself. The 18th of 20. That is unbelievable. You got me beat, Marcus. Also, this is a special day because President Jones brings to the office experience that he has and knowledge that he has gained here at Northwestern, but also at Grambling and at Southern. So he is the product of and the champion for public higher education in Louisiana. He knows firsthand the promise and the power of knowledge and skills that only quality education can provide. And quite frankly, it's not often that someone is able to give back to their alma mater, to their state, in such a profound way. As governor, I too am biased. I support higher education. I support public higher education. And I believe that we have some of the best institutions anywhere in the country and that we are making significant progress. From day one, when I talk to students like Bailey, I've always told them that they were my motivation for becoming governor in the first place. We had disinvested in higher education over the previous 8 years more than any other state in the nation. We were balancing our budget on the backs of our students in an unacceptable way and still delivering those cuts to higher education. As a result, we were losing too many of our best and brightest to other states. Working together, however, in the past 6 years, we have turned that ship around. We've reinvested in higher education. And as you've heard, the budget we just passed in June of this year is the best ever for higher education. It includes $159.2 million, which is a 12% increase, the largest increase for higher education in our history. It has a focus on affordability programs, which in addition to TOPS includes a historic GO grant increase of $15 million. That's need-based aid for higher education, and $10.5 million to fully support the state's MJ Foster program for adult learners so that we can reach that higher ed master goal of 60% of our adults with a credentialed degree by 2030. I'm looking at the faculty out here. $31.7 million for faculty pay raises, the largest state-funded faculty pay raise in 15 years. We don't want to just keep our best and brightest students. We want to keep our best and brightest faculty as well. There are $313 million in capital outlay for higher education. And so you will see new buildings all across the state on our higher ed campuses. You will see deferred maintenance to a degree that we haven't seen because there's $50 million for deferred maintenance across the state so that you have dormitories and classrooms that are worthy of the students. So things are looking up for our state. Yes, we have challenges. We also have been blessed. I put this event on my calendar many months ago, and there was only one thing that was going to keep me from coming here, and that was this: if today, like years past, I spent September the 9th responding to a hurricane. That has not happened this year. We are blessed in other ways too, and largely through the work of education leaders around the state, K through 12 higher education, but also private business and so forth. We have the lowest unemployment ever measured in the state of Louisiana today. We are diversifying our economy. We are providing jobs and careers for the young people that you are educating. And those jobs will be filled. Those careers will offer opportunities to support not just individuals, but families and communities because of the work that you are doing here. So we have a lot to be excited about. And I know that President Jones shares in that vision. He and I both want our students to want to stay here into Louisiana, to get their education here, to join the workforce here, to have careers here, to give back to their communities, so that they can be successful and achieve all of their lifelong dreams, but achieve them here in the great state of Louisiana, so that it'll be even the greater state of Louisiana in the future. President Jones, he fully embraces that vision. More than that, he has lived it. He is the embodiment of that. And my commitment as governor is that I'm going to continue advocating for higher education and supporting the work that you are doing right here at Northwestern State University and all over the state of Louisiana. Congratulations, President Jones, and God bless.
At this time, please again welcome Bailey Willis, President of the Student Government Association, Ms. Lola Donahoe, ULS Board of Supervisors, and Dr. James Henderson, President of the University of Louisiana System, who will formally invest Dr. Jones in the official regalia of the President of Northwestern State University and present him with the presidential chain. Bailey.
In the 1890s, two rival literary societies on the campus of the Louisiana State Normal School came together to provide the colors of our beloved university. Purple for the Electric Literary Society and white for Seekers After Knowledge. It is in that spirit of collaboration for the betterment of Northwestern State that the student body has gifted to the university president official regalia on the occasion of his investiture. These robes, adorned in purple and white, colors of loyalty, and bearing the seal of this grand old school, shall serve as a symbol of the mutual collaboration, trust, and respect between the university administration and the student body. It is with great pride that I have the honor of presenting you with this official gift from the students of Northwestern State University, and to invest into you the office with this robe as the 20th president of Northwestern State University.
Well, folks, good morning. It is a pleasure to be back on the campus of my alma mater, Northwestern State. It's always a pleasure to come back here, but today is momentous. Governor, thank you for your words today and for your constant leadership. To our representatives and our senators who are here, thank you for your investments in our work. The motto of this school is that the education of the youth is the salvation of the state. And you see many examples of that sitting in this room today. To Commissioner Reed, thank you for your stalwart leadership during times of scarcity and certainly now in times when we're reinvesting in this vital work. I hold in my hands a chain that's pretty weighty in its own right. You have no idea how much it weighs when it goes around your neck. On this chain are 20 names. Names like Thomas Boyd, who famously wrote to the governor in 1894, warning about this upcoming school in Ruston, that the technical school in Ruston would be a perpetual menace, not only to the normal school, but to the state university in Baton Rouge. Welcome, President Geis. I'm glad you're here. I can't wait to take that tech-bound sign out of my front yard now that my son is there. Also has names like A.A. Fredericks, whose name adorns this building that showcases the finest school of creative and performing arts, I dare say, in our country. Yeah. It includes names like Robert Alost, whose signature is on my diploma and on President Jones's diploma, on President Maggio's diploma. He did a pretty good job. His name will also be on the new Kaiser Hall, which should begin construction very soon. It includes the name of my predecessor, Randall Webb, who is the longest serving president in the glorious history of Northwestern State. And while Dr. Jones did not commit that he would serve as long as President Webb, he did think he could outlast the 18th president of the university. And so as the final symbol of the investiture, I will hang this around Marcus's neck. I have known Marcus Jones for many years. We've worked together as partners and as friends. He is a man of character, of strength, of courage. We all have many great memories of this university that has served the state of Louisiana and the nation for 138 years. But I dare say none of us will have a memory quite as meaningful as the one we have today. And so, President Jones, with the authority vested in me by the Board of Supervisors for the University of Louisiana System, it's my distinct privilege and highest honor to formally invest you as the 20th president of Northwestern State University of Louisiana.
Thank you. Preparing for and participating in these investiture activities has intensified my sense of humility and gratitude for being selected to serve as president of Northwestern State University. The honor of working so closely with faculty, staff, students, alumni, and other stakeholders in guiding such a prominent and beloved institution exceeds every ambition that this first-generation student could ever have imagined for his life. And as you've heard, I grew up in Winfield, Louisiana, with 19 brothers and sisters. And every time I say that, I see the surprise on each of your faces. And I'm going to say it again. I grew up with 19 brothers and sisters. Neither of my parents finished middle school, but they both knew that our family's inter- and intergenerational social and economic mobility was tied to our educational achievements. My parents did everything within their power to ensure that we had access to a quality education. T.H. Harris, whose roots are grounded in Winfield, is widely remembered for serving as the superintendent of education in Louisiana for more than 30 years. But my mother, Eloise Loud Jones, was superintendent of education in the Jones household. some way, she found the time and the means with very limited resources to keep us all fed, clean, clothed, and most importantly, to ensure that we were in school performing well in our classes and other school activities. It was not unusual for my mother to visit our teachers every week or so, wait around until they could see her, to provide in-depth reports on our academic progress, our undertakings at school, and particularly on our behavior. In retrospect, she created the solid foundation, the desire, and the inspiration for me to continue my education. Now, my father, John Henry Jones, was always one of the hardest working men I knew. He supported his family on a modest salary he earned in working in the forest product industry that provided jobs for people in Winfield and surrounding communities such as Atlanta, Calvin, Dotson, and Sykes. And when he was not on that job, he was working on our small farm alongside my mother and all of us who were old enough to help. And despite being poor, I remember that my dad always set aside a portion of that produce that we could not sell or consume. That share was for neighbors and friends who needed it. He taught me that it was not just my responsibility to work hard, but equally as important to make our community better by caring for and helping those around us. Now, I share that part of my journey with you today because I want to assure you that I will lead the Northwestern community with the same values and principles that were instilled in me by my parents. It will be my goal as president to set an example for colleagues by working hard and being dedicated to our mission and objectives, but also demonstrate compassion and concern for those whose lives we touch. Primarily because of my parents' guidance, I too recognize that education is transformative and is connected to our students' social and economic mobility and potential. Based on that lifelong viewpoint, my presidency will be focused on doing everything within my power to provide our students with opportunities to succeed in their work and careers and enjoy meaningful and productive lives. I work every day to remove barriers and hurdles that so many people face in their efforts to build better lives by expanding their education. That will allow me to continue chipping away at the debt of gratitude that I owe to my parents, my professors and mentors here at Northwestern, and to the university itself for assisting me in reaching and even exceeding my educational aspirations. The English essayist Joseph Addison said, "What sculpture is to a block of marble, education is to the soul." My overarching ambition as president is to enable and empower the university to continue to enrich the souls and spirits of students who will stand at the forefront of innovation, problem solving, and servant leadership, who will address our future social, environmental, and economic challenges, and who will respond to our global community with empathy, adaptability, and kindness. Guiding those efforts will be a commitment to vigorously maintain the integrity and honor of this university and its reputation for quality education, combined with deep benevolence and goodwill for students, constituents, partners, communities, and the region that it serves. Many of you at this investiture have inspired, guided, believed in, and motivated me on my journey to this extraordinary honor, and I am forever grateful. Some family members, teachers, classmates, and friends from school days at Northwestern and Winfield are in the audience. Please accept my warmest welcome and sincere appreciation for joining us. Other special guests include the Honorable Governor John Bell Edwards, Commissioner of Higher Education, Dr. Kim Hunter-Reid, University of Louisiana System President Dr. Jim Henderson, and members of the legislature and the University of Louisiana System Board of Supervisors and staff, other state and local officials, and others who were recognized earlier in the program. You honor us with your presence. Now, many of the dignitaries in attendance played a major role in my selection as president, and I sincerely appreciate your confidence and support. Now, only 2 of the university's 19 former presidents are still living, and we are honored to have both of them here today. Dr. Jim Henderson has already been recognized, and my immediate predecessor, Dr. Chris Maggio, is here with us as well. Now, we will need the 2 of you to stay healthy in case we need someone to blame for some of the problems that may go wrong in the future. Now, on a serious note, this investiture is about much more than one individual. It commemorates the history, traditions, and impact of an institution that has served this region and the state with distinction, value, and significance since the 1800s. These ceremonies focus attention on the perseverance and resilience of a school that was created for the very purpose of expanding education and the quality of life for the citizens of this region and far beyond. Northwestern has never veered from that goal or mission in the 138-year history, even in the face of worldwide military conflicts, economic crises, natural disasters, global pandemics, and other catastrophes and upheavals that could have threatened the efficacy of the institution and even its very existence. Northwestern has formed deep, powerful roots since it opened less than 20 years after the nation was divided by a civil war. It was created on a tract of land that is still the oldest continually occupied site for higher education in Louisiana. The school's mission was to provide teachers to strengthen the educational system in Northwest Louisiana at a time when there were no public grade schools or high schools within miles of the Natchitoches campus, only seminaries and private institutions. The first students came by wagons, riverboats, and on rail lines that ended in places like Provençal and Cyprus, where they found local folks who were willing to get them to the new college in Natchitoches over rough trails and muddy roads. 60 bold students showed up that first fall, and 3 of them made it to the initial graduating class a couple of years later. But after 10 years, Louisiana Normal School, which is now Northwestern, had sent 148 teachers into schools that were springing up in towns and villages across the region. Now, the university bolsters the economy and workforce by providing every year more than 2,000 highly skilled and qualified graduates in multiple and varied fields of study to business, industries, institutions, and other entities worldwide. Those graduates represent every segment of our society. In the spring of 1965, 7 plaintiffs sued for admission to Northwestern and became the first African American students to integrate the university. Later that summer, another 19 African American students enrolled, and more than 50 came in the fall. By the spring of 1966, more than 100 African American students were enrolled at our university. The first 7 students are recognized as pioneers in the expansion of civil rights, and it is an honor to have with us here today Doris Ann Rock Robinson and Bishop James Johnson, the only 2 surviving original plaintiffs. Their courage and the valor and vision of the other 5 students paved the way for the diverse and inclusive student body that we serve today. You see, Northwestern has embraced change and conquered challenges through its nearly 14 decades, which has helped fortify and prepare the university for the monumental obstacles of recent times. Just in the past 2 years, the relentless pandemic, brutal storms that battered our campuses, social conflicts, soaring costs for services and programs, a national decline in enrollment, seismic shifts in technology and other factors have required universities to demonstrate unprecedented responsiveness to change and reinvention to remain viable and vibrant. The remarkable innovation that has been essential in keeping higher education at the forefront of addressing the nation's unique challenges in recent years has long been ingrained in Northwestern's very fiber. When there was a need years ago for expanded access to cutting-edge academic programs offered by this little university in the quiet, quaint town of Natchitoches, Northwestern established campuses in Shreveport, Alexandria, and the Fort Polk-Leesville area, and created learning centers in other communities across the region. Long before there was an internet, Northwestern professors sat in a studio before television cameras to produce lectures that were broadcast to classrooms across campuses through a closed-circuit TV network that was one of the first of its kind in this part of the nation. That early technology provided the foundation for the university to later become a trailblazer in online learning, offering numerous courses and programs not just in its own classroom, but to students across the nation and world before that technology and outreach became commonplace in higher education and essential during the pandemic. Even while recognizing and meeting the needs for increased education accessibility, meaningful public and community service, and robust economic development for the state and region, this school has continually expanded and enhanced its extensive and diverse academic programs. Attracting and retaining a world-class faculty and establishing strong partnerships with numerous public and private entities that share Northwestern's steadfast pursuit of academic distinction has long been at the heart of the university's reputation for scholarly and intellectual excellence. The university's outstanding and wide-ranging degree offerings are continually modified and fine-tuned to align with the ever-changing landscape and demands of employment markets. Now, while NSU cherishes its history and traditions, it has never been confined to academic patterns and prototypes. Students are enriched not just by classroom studies, but also by inspiring and exciting extracurricular programs, development of effective communication and problem-solving skills, and individual and collaborative creativity. Northwestern has more than 100 academic majors and scores of student organizations and activities, including fraternities and sororities, Division I athletics, a spectacular marching band, honor societies, intramural, and club sports that reflect the diversity and multiplicity of the university. The value and relevance for which the university has been noted for decades has not diminished. A Hanover research study this year showed that Northwestern offers 7 of the 10 fastest growing degree programs in the nation, which expands our graduates' potential for meaningful employment and higher earnings. NSU's success in career preparation for students is reflected in the fact that 95% of last year's graduating classes were employed in a field related to their studies or enrolled in graduate school within 6 months. Our recent alumni have joined thousands of others around the world in virtually every sector of society and the workforce. Those alumni carry the banner and enhance the brand of the university. The more than 9,000 students currently enrolled at NSU and the thousands of others who will become students in the future walk in the footsteps of movers, shakers, innovators, leaders, trailblazers, and pathfinders whose roots are deeply embedded at Northwestern State University. Among Northwestern's 75,000 alumni are a former director of NASA's Johnson Space Center, CEO of Ford Credit Europe, military generals and commanders, statewide elected officials, presidents of universities, entrepreneurs, philanthropists, Pulitzer Prize winners, members of athletic halls of fame, political consultants for presidential candidates, Broadway stars, military musicians, managers of opera houses and theaters worldwide. Furthermore, Northwestern's alumni affect the future by teaching all levels of students in public, private, and charter schools, and by occupying leadership positions in school districts. Our nursing and allied health alumni were at the forefront of the COVID response during the pandemic and continue to provide the best care possible to patients in clinics and hospitals around the nation. Northwestern would never be able to celebrate the accomplishment of the over 75,000 alumni since its founding in 1884 without the support of countless faculty, staff, and friends. And we, as alumni, would not be here today to look back at all the positive milestones afforded to us without our Northwestern experience. Our alumni are impressive, and their collective service to their professions is immeasurable. I am honored to serve in a role that continues to develop our students for a global future, and I thank you all for entrusting me with such an impactful university. In closing, my pledge to you today is that I will never take the responsibility of serving as president of Northwestern lightly. I am keenly aware that I have been lifted to this prominent position on the shoulders of not just 19 former presidents, but by countless professors, staff members, alumni, and visionary pioneers like Ms. Doris Ann Rock Robinson and Bishop James Johnson. Just as I've been elevated to this position by the strength, influence, and empathy of so many others, I will be mindful every day, as John Andrew Holmes said, that there is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. I appreciate your participation in this investiture and all it means to Northwestern, and look forward to continuing to work together to assure an even brighter future for our university. Thank you again, and Forcum Demons.
The investiture anthem today will be performed by the Northwestern State Chamber Choir. The Chamber Choir is internationally awarded and is selected through a competitive process and represents 32 of the finest voices on campus. They are conducted by Director of Choral Activities, Dr. Nicholas Cummins. The investiture anthem will be immediately followed by the University Alma Mater, sung again by the Chamber Choir, accompanied by the Northwestern State University Wind Symphony, conducted by Dr. Anthony Purcell, and we hope that you will join in singing.
Ave Maria.
Here today to deliver the benediction is Senator Louis Bernard, class of 1973.
I bet I can speak for so many of you out there. I am so proud to be a graduate of Northwestern today. Governor, we want to thank you for coming today. I want to thank our legislators for coming today. There is somewhere in Louisiana where you might be as welcome, but there is no place in Louisiana where you are more welcome than in the city of Natchitoches and on the campus of Northwestern State University today. So thank all of you for being here. Would you bow your heads, please? Our Father in heaven, we collectively bear witness this morning to the special and sacred place that is Northwestern State University. And we are acutely aware of the sobering responsibility we all have to make this institution even better than it has been. We ask thy blessing upon Dr. Marcus Jones, that you strengthen and guide him to not only overcome the obstacles and challenges that surely await, but to set out on an expedition of courage and vision toward achievements that only yesterday were dreams. We know that such a bold journey can tax the body, the mind, and the spirit. And so, Lord, in the words of the old preacher, we humbly ask that you wrap your arms around Dr. Jones and prop him up on every leaning side. May this university, built from the inspiration and persistence of so many, and sustained for more than a century by those whose aspirations and prayers are now one with the brick and stone of this beloved place, continue to be a beacon to all those who would come and learn. Strengthen our leaders, challenge our teachers, safeguard our students, and from thy heavenly portal, watch over and forever keep Northwestern State University. Amen.
Thank you for attending today's ceremony. On behalf of all of us here at Northwestern, we appreciate your support and invite you back to campus for one of our many public events. Please join us at the community reception in the Freedman Student Union Ballroom from noon to 2 p.m. for a reception to honor and to meet Dr. Jones. Please allow stage guests, visiting dignitaries, faculty, and staff to recess the auditorium first, which we will do through the side aisles.